Here's what happens when the fourth turning meets fifth generation warfare.
A commentator, international social media sensation, and former Navy intelligence veteran.
This is Human Events with your host, Jack Posobiec.
Christ is king.
President Trump today acknowledging a peace agreement between Russia and Ukraine remains elusive. The president, though, still working on setting up a face-to-face with Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
We're going to see if Putin and Zelensky will be working together. You know, that's like oil and vinegar a little bit. They don't get along too well.
But in an exclusive interview with Meet the Press moderator Kristen Welker, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov making clear there is no meeting planned and there won't be for some time.
Putin is ready to meet with Zelensky when the agenda would be ready for a summit. And this agenda is not ready at all.
The Justice Department has publicly released a transcript and audio of the interview between Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's imprisoned accomplice.
Did you ever observe President Trump receive a massage?
Never.
There's photographs of Mr. Epstein and President Trump together.
Yes.
Those all appear to be social settings.
Yes. That's my memory. There were social settings. I think they were friendly, like people are in social settings. I don't recall ever seeing him in his house, for instance. I actually never saw the president in any type of massage setting.
The Trump administration's ongoing efforts to combat crime are showing promising results, keeping our capital and its citizens safe.
Since President Trump announced his initiative, the White House has reported over 700 arrests and 91 illegal guns seized so far.
President Trump now says he may also send troops to Chicago, though state and local leaders are strongly pushing back on that idea.
We don't have to live like this. My message to my fellow citizens here in D.C. or all across the country would be that allowing vagrants and armed robberies to take over your city, that's a policy choice. What President Trump is showing is that if you just empower local law enforcement to arrest and prosecute the bad guys, we can take back American streets.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board today's edition of Human Events Daily. We're here live in Washington, D.C. Today is August 25th, 2025, Anno Domini. Folks, the days of lawlessness are over. It is time to Bukele every American city. Take back our streets. And what do I mean by that? The days where you could spit in a cop's face and go viral on X, they're over. The days when kids thought it was okay to steal, assault, and vandalize are over. These are our cities. They want to say, Trump was being fascist. Trump's a pro-defense. No, it's called common sense. And it's something that I like to call normal. No, I'm sorry, if you're not popping wheelies in a dirt bike, driving around people, just trying to walk down the street, families, children, you are going away. And that includes all of the ATV gangs in every major city. Look, normal is when you can walk down the street in a big city and not have to worry about getting mugged or knocked out. You remember the knockout game, boys and girls? Or shop without having to worry about open shoplifters and pickpockets, or walk down the street, take your kid to, I don't know, karate practice and not have to worry about fentanyl zombies chasing you down the sidewalk, or even having to tell your son, having to look him in the eye when he says, "Daddy, why is that person twitching on the ground?" And you can say, "Well, son," and you don't have to say, "Well, son, that's the benefit of freedom. That's just one of the benefits of freedom." No, it's not. We don't have to live like this. We've never had to, in fact. This is a choice. And when there is a federal nexus in all of these crimes, President Trump should absolutely take the National Guard approach that he's taken here to Washington, D.C. And I can tell you, the streets are clean. The streets are safe now. We're actually talking about going and taking the kids to the museums tomorrow for one of the first times that we've done in a long time. We might even go out this weekend. We might even go out this evening. Maybe I'll take Tanya Tay out this weekend. Maybe, just maybe I will. Because you see, folks, we couldn't do that before all this. And when I say go out, look, you could go out to certain locations, but then you had to go right away, right? You had to get out, and you couldn't just walk around. Go ask Big Balls what happens with that. And when you stay out too late, when you stay out, you get in trouble. Now, people say, oh, well, you were asking for it if you stayed out. There are parts of the world that don't have to live like that. I've lived in those cities. I've lived in much bigger cities all around the world, and in places where they have serious police presence and actually take crime seriously, street crime. Guess what? You don't have to worry about that. You can walk around at 3 a.m. There are parts of Europe that are like that. There are parts of, go look at Singapore. All right, we did a whole episode on Singapore years ago, and I would stand on business when it comes to Singapore. Go look at how clean the streets in Singapore are. Go look at how safe the streets of Singapore are. How did they take a backwater country, city really, just an island, and turn it into the powerhouse, one of the 4 Asian tigers of the 1980s? How did they do that? A little thing called law and order. Law and order. See, people focus on the quote-unquote scary part. What they miss is the liberation part, the liberation of families, the liberation of young people being able to go out and have a good time. We did so many videos from Warsaw recently. They went so viral. People saying, how can we do this? How can you have a city of millions and millions of people and they're just totally feeling free to walk around? It's simple. It's called violent offenders and harassers and people committing the street crime go away. And if you commit those crimes, guess what? You're not coming back. It's really simple. Bukele the cities. Be right back. Jack Posobiec, Mike Benz coming up.